Yo, what's up YouTube? What is going on today? This episode that we just got of Boruto was mad juicy, and I'm talking mad juicy. And it was just screaming BoruSara as we seen Sarada's love for Boruto being shown. I got to see them tears and shit. I finally got to see a hug between Boruto and Sarada, but it was mainly just Sarada, and this was actually missing from the tuning exams, as in the Boruto novel it says that they hug. But Sarada's reaction in this episode was amazing. The animation of the eyes when they focused on her and Boruto, that was completely amazing, especially the depth of the eyes, simply amazing. And then we see her tears and they got worse after Boruto fell. Sarada went on full-on cry mode, and then she wanted to kill Ikada when her Sharingan was activated. She felt anger and wanted revenge, and those eyes of hers reflect her heart, since the Sharingan is the eyes that reflect the heart. Her two Tomo being activated means that she wanted revenge by killing Ikada. But this episode expanded on Sarada's emotion and she held back. She stopped the Uchiha hatred and she didn't seek revenge, as the Uchihas feel deep love since she just witnessed herself lose a loved one. She resisted because of what Boruto said to her. He said not to seek revenge. That means he holds a special place in her heart for her to not want revenge and actually listen to Boruto. This here is the fact that she wanted revenge but held it back under a full crying face. A lot of people will think unreasonably when they let their emotions slide out, but Boruto and Sarada understood each other. She kept saying to Boruto stop, but he wouldn't. She followed his last wishes and didn't seek revenge. Sarada had said that Boruto was family to her, though my translation said brother, but the videos and pics on Twitter says family. I think this is Crunchyroll's translation. Though it is a bit funny, I think family sounds better than her saying brother. But Sarada said we were not related by blood, and following up by saying he was like a brother to me. She purposely said not related by blood. The creators were trying to separate the idea that she thinks of Boruto as a real brother. They wanted to keep the idea that she thinks of Boruto as someone dear to her, and chapter 69 full on shows that. But Sarada said that they weren't related by blood and that he was family to her. She said they played together and got in many fights, which they did. Back in the beginning they would always fight, and now look at them. Sarada and Boruto have come way too far in their relationship. In the beginning they hated each other and disliked one another, though I can't say 100% for Sarada as she always hides her true feelings. But back then they weren't as close, and Sarada didn't show tears, but now she full on showed tears, and this is one of the only times that she's actually shown tears for someone. We've seen tears with Sasuke and Sakura, but now she showed it for Boruto, meaning he is a dear person to her. She then cried when she thought that he had died, and she hugged him once he knew he was alive. She shed tears upon hugging him. Even Mitsuki didn't cry, but he held his sage transformation, so that's how you know he was pissed. Mitsuki wanted to swing hands, but he had to hold back. But one thing to say is this contradicts with what Mitsuki said in chapter 69. He said he would do anything to save Boruto and that he would do things to the person who kills Boruto. In this case, when Mitsuki saw Boruto die and he gets pushed off the ship, he did not do anything. Though he tried transforming, he followed Boruto's last wishes. So I think they were starting to foreshadow this idea that he will do anything to save Boruto after he came so close to losing Boruto. So it makes sense that he doesn't want Boruto to die when he said what he said in chapter 69. But going back to the main thing of this show, that being Sarada. She runs to Boruto crying and hugs him upon knowing that he is alive. Boruto says you're overreacting. Though I mean, is she really? She was about to lose the boy she loves. When Ikada says to her, do you not feel sad? She replies in a yelling crying response saying, I am so sad my chest feels like it's getting crushed. Her saying that means she's having a heartache, that she lost the boy she loves. And a heartache is caused by a loss or absence of a loved one. In this case, Boruto is the loved one that she just lost. It just goes to show you how dear he was to her. To make all this even juicier, her showing all these emotions in this episode just goes to show you how much she feels love, as the Uchihas have the deepest love of them all. It also shows you the bond between Boruto and Sarada, and that is what I love about Boruto. Even if Boruto may have its bad things, one of the best things the authors and creators did is develop Boruto and Sarada's relationship starting from Naruto chapter 700s. They literally made them understand one another on a deep level. This is showcased so many times even in the Boro fight. It was shown again in this episode too when Ikada asked Boruto, are you sure they won't fight back? He agrees saying yeah, they won't. He knew that Sarada wouldn't fight back. He knew she would follow his last wishes. Their bond is so deep that they both know what each other feels and would do. Their relationship comes a long way. This episode and chapter 69 were proof of all of that, and it's still not over yet. We still have more to see from the anime and manga for Boruto and Sarada's relationship. But one thing I will say is that I think the authors will focus on Sarada's feelings towards Boruto rather than Boruto figuring them out. The way she acts with him is different than when she's with someone else. From her actions to her body language to her voice, you can tell this is someone she deeply loves. Her voice in this episode was displaying crazy emotions. Her voice with Boruto is a thing Mitsuki noticed about Sarada. This again shows you she acts differently when it comes to Boruto than to anyone else. But as I was saying before, the authors will reveal Sarada's feelings first. And I think this episode is a build up to chapter 69 when her feelings get revealed and she doesn't deny them. They will let Sarada focus on loving Boruto while Boruto is still suppressing his feelings as he has so much going on in his plate, especially with Momoshiki. They will show Sarada's feelings first as she is in Uchiha, and then they will show Boruto's feelings later and dive into them in the time skip. And I think in the time skip Boruto will fall for Sarada once he sees her again and starts talking to her again. But this episode was amazing. I like this episode more than any other episode in this arc. I could go on with more things for Boruto and Sarada, but for the sake of this video, I will cut it here. Now this episode finally closes the arc and the next episode starts back in the village. Ikada learned from Boruto that revenge will do nothing, and Ikada had seen it firsthand when Mitsuki and Sarada did not attack him when Boruto got pushed off the ship. But Boruto had ended the beef between the Hidden Mist and the King of the Pirates. We also seen Kawaki act his casual self and he killed off Arumi, though they censored it. But I do wonder if they will censor the events in the Code arc, since if they censor this man getting massacred, we'll have to wait and see what happens to Boruto when Kawaki gives him his almighty bush. Now next episode shows the beef between Boruto and Kawaki as he knew Boruto was acting stupid when he didn't decide to kill the enemy. Sarada is there too when they argue, so I think she will try to explain to Kawaki on what Boruto was trying to do. And I think next episode may build up to the downfall of Kawaki and Sarada's relationship, which we see in chapter 58. But I think starting next episode, Sarada and Mitsuki will closely watch Boruto, but mainly Sarada. I think they're going to start changing her feelings up a bit with Boruto, and she'll act more caring now than before, as she almost lost Boruto and doesn't want to lose him again. This may also go to chapter 68 when she touches Boruto's chest, all worried on what the karma did to him. So now my issues with this episode: she did not get her 3 tomo, and I'm more surprised that she didn't get her Mangekyo Sharingan either. She just witnessed a death of a close one. But obviously it's a filler, and I don't mean filler, but rather not a part of the manga. I think the manga will show her MS first before we get it in the anime. So I think she must witness the death in front of her, and that the person dying in front of her has to be either getting stabbed or something like that. Like if she witnesses chapter 66, 67, then for sure a MS would have awakened. But I think the anime and manga is setting it up, especially with Sarada recognizing her own feelings. She will feel even more deeper love so that she can awaken her eyes when the time is right. So I think up next, till episode 280s, we will get her 3 tomo in a new arc. Now that she cried and showed her feelings of losing Boruto, when she has to fight him next is when her 3rd tomo will awaken. It will be like Sasuke when he fought Naruto for the first time, aka fought his brother. So Sarada will have to fight Boruto to save him, and this was foreshadowed back in episode 225 when Sasuke gave her the mission to take down Boruto if he transforms. And I think she won't be able to do it, that she can kill Boruto who is dear to her. But I think when the 3 tomo awakens, it will give her strength to fight him and bring him back when the time comes. So we'll see what happens in the future with this stuff, but I liked everything this episode gave. I loved the BoruSara moment. The build up was really amazing. Bro, that's how you know BoruSara is the way to go. Though I'm not going to downplay any other ships in the series, but this relationship has way more development than any of the other relationships in the Naruto Boruto universe, because they started developing on Boruto and Sarada since episode 1. So right away they knew these two were gonna be together, and I think the creators are fixing the issues that Naruto had with the ships, where they decided to work on the ships more towards the end of the series. But in this it's the other way around, and they started from episode 1, which is really good in my opinion. But with the other ships in Boruto, Kawasara, there's nothing on them so far. Borusumi, there's nothing. Maybe the manga having Sumire show her feelings, that's about it. Though with Kawasumi I could see something there because of what the manga is showing again between Kawaki and Sumire, but the anime has nothing so far on them. But with Boruto and Sarada, we have so much, especially this episode with her crying, with her calling out to Boruto, everything. It's crazy, it's amazing. I love this episode. So now this video has to come to an end. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.